I'm Dr. Schneider, and you have been diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome, and you're wondering if there's an alternative approach to help fix this problem. So first of all, you want to know what carpal tunnel syndrome is. So there's a nerve that travels into your arm and travels from your neck down into your arm and ends up in your hand, and that nerve is called the median nerve, and that nerve distributes into your thumb, your first, second, and half of your third fingers. And distribution of this nerve along its course, somehow you get numbness in it. So the nerve, what's important to understand about carpal tunnel syndrome, there's actually three different things that contribute to it. One is physical, one is chemical, and the other one is the whole electrical system. So what I do is I do a physical exam and I try to discover where the problem is beginning. So as I just mentioned, the nerve starts in your neck, and it travels down into your shoulder, and then it travels down into your elbow, and then down into your wrist. So you can have pressure on the nerve in your neck, pressure on your nerve in your shoulder, or your elbow, or your wrist that can contribute to carpal tunnel syndrome. So we will analyze that and we'll discover where the pressure is. Now when you look at your neck, there's several different things that can contribute to carpal tunnel syndrome. The first one is forward head posture, and you may be able to see this because as I bring the head forward, you can see how this whole area looks like it's stretching and getting tighter. And so if you stretch and make that nerve tighter coming out of your neck, that can be the beginning stages of contributing to carpal tunnel syndrome. So your neck is supposed to have this nice curve like this, and if you lose that curve, that can be part of your problem. We see people with carpal tunnel syndrome that have degenerative disc problems. So this is a normal disc. If you look at this, this is a normal nerve coming out of your disc, between your disc. So that nerve would be healthy and highly unlikely to develop carpal tunnel syndrome. However, as you go down these phases, if you take a look at this disc and you take a look at this nerve is not as healthy, and that nerve is degenerating, and that could contribute to carpal tunnel syndrome. So as that nerve exits your neck and travels through this opening in your shoulder here, it gets more pressure. Then that nerve travels through an opening in your elbow, it can get more pressure. Then it goes through an opening in your wrist and it can get more pressure. Now your wrist could be the problem. You have a series of bones here in your wrist, and these bones form a little canal called your carpal tunnel. That bone positioning can contribute to carpal tunnel syndrome. So we look at the wrist bones and we see if they're properly aligned. And in your wrist, that carpal canal is only about the size of your pinky finger. And through that canal, you have 9 tendons in one nerve. So it's very easily irritated and symptomatic. So that's the physical parts of carpal tunnel syndrome. We also look at having you write out a health history, and we give you a questionnaire with 200 questions on it. We try to discover if there's other things that may be contributing to carpal tunnel syndrome that aren't physical, like chemical things. And so we oftentimes will see people who have chronic inflammation or a lot of inflammation in your body, and that nerve becomes inflamed because of that, and that can contribute to impingement or pressure on that nerve in the carpal tunnel. The other part of this that we analyze is to determine if there's any kind of imbalance in the meridians, the acupuncture system that's traveling down from your neck into your hand, and determine if that may be part of this. So we take a comprehensive look at your body. We look at it from a physical point of view, a chemical point of view, and an electrical point of view. We discover what's going wrong, and then we can help advise you on how to correct it.